LLC taking it up a notch with its AMPS Entrepreneurship Leadership Institute retreat in Puerto Rico. Students attending from Argentina, St. Thomas, St. Croix, and Puerto Rico. Some participants driving hours to attend. AMPS Institute is building a bridge between 3 of the islands of the same region because they are all facing a similar threat: food sustainability and conservation.
And agriculture is worldwide. I don't care what you do in your life, it's going to pertain to agriculture somewhere. Okay, I don't care if it's the clothes you wear, the food you eat, whatever. The hair products you use is going to relate to agriculture somewhere. Who's going to be the disruptor to come up with something magical that the USDA, NRCS, or anybody, any agency, government agency would say, I want to fund this. I want to put $100,000 into this. I want to put 1.2 million into this. I want to put 5 million into this because I want you to grow it. And I want the research and development in this particular category. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for folks who want to do something different. My motto has always been, if you want something that you've never had, you've got to do something that you've never done.
We're trying to bring new professionals to agriculture and conservation regardless of where you want to be. You can have any careers, but as long as you're conservation-minded, agriculture-minded, that's a plus for us in USDA. So that is our purpose.
This retreat was sponsored by the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service in partnership with the University of Puerto Rico School of Agriculture. It's an effort to generate interest among young people in the field of agriculture and conservation, because at least 98% of the food and water in the region is reportedly imported. AMPS Institute also gaining support from the Future Farmers of America, 4-H clubs, the Boys and Girls Club, along with the Vocational School of Agriculture, all sending participants to this retreat.
Right, so your network will determine your net worth. One of the things we do here at AMPS is create a group on WhatsApp so that you stay in touch. And then about 30 days after we leave here or sooner, we're in touch with you. We want to make sure that you connect and connect and connect.
The AMPS Institute knows the best way to build a business is to solve a problem, so they take the participants to the source. In this case, the Doña Carmen Farm Incorporated, or César Pérez, welcomed the crew.
Bienvenidos a todos, buenos días. Mi nombre es César Pérez de León, agricultor de a pie.
This is the most important part of the diet. From this, yeah, we use everything. Plantains, smashed plantains, tostones. Right. So everybody eats mofongo.
Is that right?
Yeah, and everybody wants it all time of the year. So farmers and cookers that have this, they get a high demand on it.
So plantains and bananas are triploid. They don't produce a seed that you plant. So they produce what we call a son. So the seed is actually not a seed, it's the plant.
Oh, so they propagate it?
So no, the plantain is producing those kits. You see that one over there pretty big? Right, so you harvest this, it has a big tuber in that, and then that's what you plant over there.
So what are your thoughts on the farm so far?
Well, this is really pretty cool. I'm learning a lot, and it's just a few minutes. Like, we are here 5 minutes, and I already learned about the bacteria and everything that you have on the plants. So, well, let's keep learning.
I really like the system of how they divide it into different little fields. So, because in the market, I've heard that over here, the plantain is really volatile. So the prices range up and down a lot. And so what he does here is he does it for different times of the year. So, for example, if one of his little fields got into the part where the value is really low, the other ones could be really high, and it balances out.
The AMPS Institute is already making an impact. Les Genesis Huertas lives just 10 minutes away from this farm and didn't even know it existed. Now she's hoping to volunteer and include others from the Future Farmers of America. From the farm, we headed to what's called the incubator, where agriculture meets high tech. Luis Torres showing the students what types of innovation is
this
in
size
the works.
is supposed to make in 2 years. I make this 11 hours in 3D printer.
Wow. And one of these planted provides 5 additional ones.
Yeah,
It expands.
it's fine. That's correct. The Hurricane Maria affected all around the Island Coral Reef Zone. This project is for help accelerate the program to the corals in the zone.
Well, my name is Ivan Arocho. I am from San Sebastián, Puerto Rico. I have a farm about 18.6 acres. I think this technology is a good thing. It's more effective way because that will give you more information and it's very good for the cow. It can milk the cow 3 or more times a day.
When we're talking about food production, we want a balance of technology and traditional farming methods in order to produce everything that we eat. So I think today we saw an example of a traditional farm where they have plantains. Well, so far plantains cannot be produced on a vertical garden system. Now, vertical gardens are very efficient for leafy greens, tomatoes, peppers. That can be very useful in cities, in different settings. So to feed a population, you need both methods. You need technology, you need vertical gardens, you need urban gardens, but you also need traditional farmers that have all the orchards, fruit, avocado, mangoes, because those don't grow on a hydroponic.
What makes the makeup of these students so unique is that some only spoke English, while others only spoke Spanish.
Yauco's rivers are better.
The bilingual students stepping up to the challenge.
Of the farmer itself having the marketplace.
It's an obstacle these young entrepreneurs had to overcome in order to work together to develop a business for their pitch competition.
My name is Juan Casimiro. Thank you. Good firm handshake, okay? Good eye contact, good smile. Oftentimes people shake hands, they don't even smile. Start with the smile and make sure that the handshake is a tight handshake, firm. Now what happens if her handshake is weak or soft? What perception may I get?
Not confident.
Maybe not confident. Maybe not interested in even meeting me, right? Smile creates another smile. See, you just did it, right? So why don't you look to your left and to your right and just simply smile to each other. I can lead them. All right. So
it was time to put their ideas to work. Teams gathering together, brainstorming, and building a real business plan, including crunching the numbers. They had to face judges in the morning who were going to question what they learned.
Wanting to try our business, which is compost. After a few months, we have the Chief Executive Officer.
Hi, my name is.
After a few practice runs, it was time to take a moment of meditation, a walk to the beach for Midnight Madness, a personal moment for James Amps to thank each participant for coming and to encourage them.
We'll get better together, but anything you need, man, we're right here. We're very proud of you for actually coming here for something that you never even knew about.
The next morning, a few final preparations to prepare for the pitch. With the introduction of the judges, it was showtime.
welcome safe for all.
Good afternoon, my name is William Cruz. I am COO. Our business is called Safe for All, and our slogan is Be Happy, Be Healthy.
I want to highlight that we are a non-profit botanical garden focused to serve and especially embrace a good mental health, providing a safe space from nature for everyone that needs it. Michelle Maynard, and I'm the CIO. Our competitors are the Cool Gardens, the Botanical Gardens of Caguas, and the Guanaca Sunflower Farm.
The things that we're gonna need to start our business is gonna be permit and license, basic infrastructure, constructions, plants and trees, garden equipment and tools, and the store inventory.
Good afternoon, my name is David Alejandro Matos Santos. I am the CEO. I'm from Puerto Rico and I live in Barranquitas. My English is no good, but I am practice and I am going to do my best.
Good afternoon, my name is Laurelis Rivera Villanueva and I'm CMO of Wabi Compost.
Let me just start with this. We live in a country where their wastelands are in their limits. And those wastelands have 30% of organic material waste. Apart from that, neighboring countries like St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands in general, have 2/3 of compostable materials that are yet to be used. How can youth learn, be motivated to reduce those percentages?
From the process of the compost, how you're going to connect the school with the farmers or the agriculture?
We're gonna connect the youth with the farmers. We already have some farmers that during the business plan, we call some local farmers we already knew. And we just ask a simple question. Well, are you willing to buy compost? How do you see compost? They said yes, and some even said that they don't find people that do compost for them. Doing compost apparently is really hard in Puerto Rico.
One of the fincas that I talked to was Finca Perla Boricana, and I talked to one of the managers, and he told me that this business idea, it was really good because he was really interested in compost because it helped his terrain, and also in the school, the main target is that we can benefit the school because as public schools in Puerto Rico, we don't get a lot of funding for our school. So by making the profit, the students, the payment, I guess, for students will be community service hours because we have to graduate with those hours, and also half of the funding that we made is going to go to the school.
So in Puerto Rico, there have been some problems due to farmers having excess feces, causing the overflow of feces to reach bodies of water. That then results in farmers losing their license, decreasing the amount of farmers that we have on hand, then increasing our food insecurity.
When you're talking about Farming Alliance for a big component of your expenses, how do you plan to make that work, assuming that some of the farmers may not have this equipment themselves?
I already contacted some of the farmers, which they have the machines, the pickup truck, the wagon. The only real challenge would be the acquiring the services of the machine repairs.
Are you gonna give me a specific percent of your production of that fertilizer so I can use it in my farmer? Will you define that?
We have been thinking of giving a discount to the farmers that contribute to our business. Like they gave us the feces, and then when we prepare the fertilizer, we gave that to them with a discount or sometimes even free, at least at the beginning, because we first need to get known by other corporations, create the alliances. At least at this first phase, we're going to give certain discount to the farmers that help us.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jorge Iván Rivera Torres, CEO of Caribbean AGX, and I account with knowledge with farming and financials. And today we'll be presenting Caribbean AGX.
Hello, my name is Susanna Calhoun. I am from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and I am the COO of Caribbean AGX, and my specialty is writing about social justice and equity issues.
Good afternoon, dear judges. My name is Virginia Ciancia. I'm 16 years old. I live in Argentina, and I'm the founder and CMO of Caribbean AGX. And I'm the youngest person in Latin America to be certified by MEDA.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Camila Muñiz. I'm the CBO of Caribbean AGX, and also I am a state former president of the organization Future Farmers of America, and I am an actual student of animal science and Privet.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ivan Arocho. I am the CFO of Caribbean AGX. I am from San Sebastián, Puerto Rico, and I am a farmer, and I study in agronomy.
Well, what we want to do is create an e-commerce platform where farmers can buy products and farmers can get transport for the products and where they can match and find workers for the products. It will be a company majorly focused on giving a service, and we will have a commission, and it's characterized by being a business entity as a partnership.
Well, we have a surprise by the way for our sharks. Yes.
You're a farmer, yes? What is your expectations in terms of outcomes for your, as you as a farmers with this company? In terms of, how do you expect you to be served by this platform, and what are your expectations in terms of your outcome as a farmer?
Well, for example, I work with cows, and these days it's very difficult to find vaccines or medication for cows, and I think this website can help me to deliver my medication for my cows, for my animals.
Si la compañía no le suple el agua, pues ellas no tienen nada. Por eso buscamos una mejor solución.
I'm going to translate for him for what he said. His name is Daxel. He's our CIO, and he was the brains in all this project. He was a hands-on person that did everything. We took our technical and our imagination, and he made it work. So he had the idea of taking the salt water into a tank, purifying it into another tank so that could recycle into a vertical plant wall. So that was his idea, and that's our main project.
How are you going to take that salt water desalination to a farm in the mountains?
So basically, when we started doing our network thing, when we met her, she told us that they only had one company there that provided them water. The other thing, they relied on salt water. And that's why agriculture wasn't able to grow there. So we wanted to make sure that at least a community had a prototype that they can rely on for agriculture, because everything is important.
My suggestion is for you to focus on the system, because the system is your real product. Yeah. And you have a unique system and a unique opportunity. You are solving a real issue for an island, and in order to scale the process, you need to be more focused on how is the cost, the time that you are going to spend in the process, and then you can add the other things of education, all the social responsibility of the process. But you need to be more in depth of the system, because you have a really good system.
Okay, before we go to the next, be multilingual if you can. Most of you are. Rectors or the...
We had a great time. It was amazing to have the 4-H Club and the Future Farmers of America and the Boys and Girls Clubs out here. We had students from St. Thomas. We had our ambassador from St. Croix. So it was just amazing how they all meshed together. A lot of them spoke no English. About 3 of them that spoke no English, but they still were able to talk with their groups and figure out what their businesses were and to communicate with each other and to build those relationships. So very proud of all these students who came out here, and after watching their presentations, even more proud. So look forward to the next step. We look forward to St. Croix. Get ready.
First lady, Caribbean AGX.
Susan Colon, Camila Muñiz, and Jorge Rivera. Congratulations.
For more information about James Amps of Amps International LLC or the Amps Entrepreneurship Leadership Institute Retreat, go to ampsinstitute.com.